My definition of a wiki is a source of information that is contributed to by the users themselves, as opposed to it being in a book or being in an encyclopedia. So it's user-created content.
I would define a wiki as something that multiple people can work on collaboratively at the same time. So actually edit that in real time, and everyone could see it. Not necessarily everyone can edit it. You can have a subset of people that are editors, but it's a collaborative document.
A wiki is a space, in community-owned, community-maintained space for collective knowledge.
A wiki is something that I can challenge, something that I won't necessarily believe in, but something that I can modify and reference with that sort of rider against it. So I use wikis quite a lot.
A wiki to me is an online resource that is evolving all the time, people contributing to it, building it into something bigger and better with their experience and knowledge as that grows.
Yes, I've used a wiki, I've used it at work, but I didn't have much success at work because nobody really knew what they wanted to do with it, so it had no purpose to it. So I think there needs to be a purpose to it. I do use Wikipedia all the time, and I don't believe what they all say about it isn't reliable. I think it's just as reliable as any other source, provided you look at who's contributed to it and you look at the external links.
We use them all the time for running projects, so we use collaborative spreadsheets for tracking review comments on content that we build. We use them as traffic light documents, so we can monitor how a project is going. We use them to organise ELN events, in fact, which if you haven't heard of the ELN, so that there's a document that all the people involved in organising it can see who's being contacted, by when, what their response was. So we use them all the time. I prefer to use now Google Docs. I use them more than I use the Microsoft suite.
I've used several. I set up one as a space in which to collect a glossary of new terms for my cohort on my master's degree program. I created one for the assembly of prototypes and archetypes for a learning program that we were developing, so that that was kind of our target audience. So we had this wiki of who was going to be in our target audience. But I think the biggest one was I actually submitted my master's degree dissertation in the form of a wiki. So yeah.
I use wikis quite a lot, particularly on a Friday night. There's often a BBC music documentary on about some obscure band, like Thin Lizzy last week, and I'll often go on a wiki straight after to find out the history of a band, because I found them particularly useful for the chronological sequence in terms of events that people have added to. That's one use of it. The other use of finding out more about the background to a film. One of my favourite films is With Nail and I, and in terms of locations, it's quite useful to find anecdotal evidence as to where films have been actually set, and then as a sad individual you can actually go and find those on your holiday. So that's what I use wikis for.
At Saffron Interactive we've got an internal wiki which we use for all those kind of everyday questions, where to find passwords, login details, who our suppliers are, all that kind of everyday information. Previously we spent a lot of time moving around the office asking each other, and now you can just say it's on the wiki, it's on the wiki. It's also got some of our key processes, maybe some of the more technical processes, so non-technical people can go on, find out how to do those fairly kind of basic things that we previously again had to do looking over someone else's shoulder. And then also to share some of our kind of broader knowledge, maybe some of our tips on how to do things more effectively as well. So it's quite an all-encompassing wiki, and something that we will use every day.